Hello! Virtual diary number 2. Main themes of this video are going to be about rejection, specifically involving job searching, dating, and artist residencies. Also, I get into a little astrology business in the beginning, but yeah, let's get back to the video. Yippee! I'm going to make that gonna make saying yippee a ritual before. Oh god. I'm back with another video today. I'm sweating so much because it's really hot. It's the south. It's really hot. And it's like humid. It needs to rain probably. I don't think it's going to. It's just like muggy. Just muggy. So I was looking for a park or somewhere to film because I've been liking filming outside. It just makes me feel very grounded. I can hear the cicadas and the frogs and everything out here. It's an excuse to go outside and see the sun because I will not leave my house if I don't have to, so I am forcing myself to go outside. I was looking around because I didn't want to go in the same spot I was last time. I went to just this park and there were all these cars here. And I was like, why are all these cars here? And there were people walking with lawn chairs and drinks and like their children. And I was like, what's happening? It's like a Thursday. Like, why are y'all outside at like 6, 7 in the afternoon, like at night? Like, what's happening? Why are the children out here? It's the 4th of July. It's the 4th of July. I forgot that people really be celebrating that holiday. I just forgot. But I couldn't let's not swear in the beginning of the video because monetization, whatever the word is, I will not be monetized. I'm trying to watch my language on here, be a little more professional. That is a holiday. That's all I have to say. It is a holiday. Some people partake in it. Wow, God bless America. God bless America. So today I have updates from my last video. I'm trying to get into the habit of just filming regularly. And actually this time I wrote like a whole little thing on what I'm going to talk about today. That way I'm going to be a little less jumpy all over the place. I've decided that my posting schedule, I want it to be, I can't really hold myself to anything. Like the way I am just such a sporadic person and my art practice is very sporadic, but I'm trying to hone things in and make things regimented and like, so I can actually commit to something and do it over and over and over again. I don't want the channel to be like a one-time thing. I want to do it regularly. So I'm going to try to film and post around full moons and new moons. So that's every 2 weeks. The moon either is like full moon, 2 weeks go by, then it's like a full new moon, then full moon, then new moon, then full moon. And that's like regular regimented plans. And I chose that cycle after a conversation with someone. I was talking about basically OCD and what it's like to live with OCD, and because I have it. I've outgrown a lot of my OCD traits and I've healed from a lot of things. I've been through a lot of therapy, medication, One day I can probably talk about that more. But in particular, growing up, I had religious OCD. And I was just talking about my journey, trying to unlearn and like heal from my need for control, but still needing to find regimen and chaos. Because OCD just does not like chaos. It wants to be able to control things. It kind of bled into spirituality. Then I had a whole journey with that. Lord, these cicadas are so loud. And so while I was in my like very Christian evangelical bag with OCD for a long time, I've put it away and I've been still very called to spiritual things, and I think I'm more based in material things. Being based in material existing things is really important for me because when my brain gets an abstract thought, it can just run with it and make things up. And I want to be grounded in reality, even with my spirituality. I remember seeing someone say, like, especially with spiritual psychosis, which is very prominent in Christianity and Black Christianity, that like in order to have a spiritual experience, you still have to have a physical body. Like, we are put on earth in physical bodies. If we were not meant to have physical experiences, we wouldn't have physical bodies. So I don't think I can forsake what is physical for spiritual things. That's a very vague tangent. I'll probably talk about that more in a different video, because like literally that's a whole other conversation regarding OCD and the moon and astrology and all these different things that I've been getting into lately. It just provides a literal schedule. It provides something that I know will happen. I know the moon will come up tomorrow. I know it will be what crescent phase it will be in. I know exactly where it will be in the sky. It is a system. It's like science. Like, I mean, there's astronomy for a reason. It kind of helps me connect with the future, because in the past, I would sabotage myself. I would say in the past, I wouldn't really think of future Alex. Future Alex was like a hypothetical person. Future me was a person who will deal with that later, but I can't really escape future me or the past me with my actions in the present. If I know for a fact I will have to deal with it, like that, the future me is still me, and I want to set that person up for good things. And so making sure that I do things every day, I have routine, I'm working towards something. The moon gives me something to look forward to. Everything else in life is so uncertain. You do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know if you'll be here. You don't know if democracy will be here. You don't know if your partner will stay with you. You don't know if your house will burn down tomorrow. But one thing I can guarantee is that the moon will be there. Let's pray that nothing else happens to the moon. But I know that the sun will come up, that the stars will be there, that the moon will be there, and I, God willing, will be here with it. So giving myself a schedule that is synced with the moon seems really pretty to me. Also, that has a lot to do with things like menstruation and having PMDD, which is something I also have. Another video, lots of like mental illness, Lord Jesus, but like lots of things that I want to talk about in the future. But so anyways, updates since last time we talked, besties. I got a job. This is no longer the face of unemployment. Can I get an amen? Can I get a hallelujah in the chat? I'm no longer broke. I can now afford.
Does this work for me?
No, I don't think so.
What are you doing here?
I mean, going shopping.
You can afford?
I'm richer than you. I'm better than you. Stop being poor. I got my ass up one day and I said, my mom was like, I'm going to the beach. You want to come? I said, no, ma'am. I need to get a job. I need to get a job. So I literally went to this local like shopping area. I went to every single store there that I ever shopped in that I like relatively. I went in person. I said, are you hiring? Can I speak to the hiring manager? Can I speak to the hiring manager? When they were like, we can just do it online. I said, are you sure? Are you sure I can apply online? Because I'd be applying online and y'all don't be reading my application. I know you're not. I know you're not. I know you don't. I know you didn't look at it. I know you didn't look at my resume. I was just like, I keep getting lost in the system. Is there any advice that you'd have for me so that I don't get lost in the system? And so I was like going around. A lot of people were saying, no, we're not hiring, not until the fall, not until the fall. I was like, well, mama needs a job today. Ahora. Now. So I eventually went. One person was like really impressed by me just showing up. So I was like, I don't know why you're impressed. This is called desperation. That's what it is. So he was like, I can give you an interview on the spot. Like, are you okay to interview right now? I said, yes, sir. I interviewed, I talked the pants off of him. I'm a very charismatic person. I can run my mouth. I can persuade you to buy a beach house in North Dakota. I can't get that across if I'm limited to just a paper like resume, like just bullet points. You're not gonna get this whole shebang from paper. Back in the day, you could just turn in a resume and actually get an interview, but people don't even want to interview. I can't even get to the job market right now. Lord God, I got a job. I don't want that job. It's retail. But at least I have a job, and I think I'm going to be able to afford to continue to live by myself. Well, not by myself, without my parents, because I don't want to move back home. I don't want to move back home. If you move back home, I understand you're probably being smarter than I am. You're saving money. if you're, especially if you're not employed or you're underemployed, you're not getting paid the amount you want, and you're just saving money after college, that makes so much sense. I will not be moving home. As an artist, as a Black person, as a queer person, I cannot be in the middle of rural nowhere. I will lose my mind. I can't do it. I can't do it. Also, there's just so much of living with your parents. They get to watch you, they get to monitor you, they get to be in your business, they get to touch your stuff. I have siblings, they're gonna be all of my things. I cannot go back. I will not go back unless I have to. Unless God forces me back there, I will fight. I will not go back. So I took this job. I'm still looking for other jobs. I really hope that I can get a job in an area that I actually care about and I actually like, because Lord knows I don't like what I'm doing right now. I'm learning lots of things about working with the public. I've worked with the public before, in like my sophomore to junior year. I worked in like food service, and working retail is a very similar experience, and I'm just like learning about humanity. Humanity definitely needs help. I see the things that y'all are buying. That's not normal. We need conscious consumerism. We need conscious consumerism. We are actively killing the planet. There is no way y'all need all that stuff. There's no way you need that. But I'm just here making money. Anyway. So I then went to a networking event where I was talking to a lot of creatives in like the creative like advertising industry. And I've been trying to find some like fashion folks and like creative direction, photography, marketing, that types of things, so that I can get a job. Because I'm noticing again, I am so much better when you talk to me. Applying to these things without having a face is really, really like not working for me. So I'm trying to get to know people and build relationships. And honestly, I've made some cool connections with people that I probably would have never found. Like I would have never bonded with, I would have never talked to had I not gone to those events. And it's been really nerve-wracking. I'm typically the youngest person in there. And luckily these have been very Black focused events, like Black owned businesses. That's where I've been going to. And typically I would be the only Black person in the room. Luckily it's not that, but I am typically the only 20-year-old, 21-year-old person in the room. And that has been so intimidating. I've talked to people and I've been trying to introduce myself and tell people who I am. But one thing I've been really stuttering over is telling people, is that thunder? I hope those are fireworks and not thunder. Well, there go the squirrels being suspicious. Something about squirrels are just so suspicious to me. But yeah, so what was I even saying? I'm typically the youngest person in the rooms that I go to, and introducing myself and telling people who I am has been really hard. I think when people ask, who are you? What do you want to do? I just get flustered. I get like, I'm someone who wants to be somebody. I'm not somebody yet, but I'm getting there. And they're like, okay, I don't want to talk to you then, because I want to talk to somebody who's somebody. I'm like, I'm nobody though right now. Like, I'm working on not saying that, and like, I am somebody, but I'm just not doing the things I want to be doing. And I feel like to become the person I want to be, I have to be doing that thing. But in order to do the things I want to do, I have to be legitimized. Like, I want to do a photo shoot for a fashion magazine. I am not a fashion magazine photographer because I can't get the job. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just really hard having confidence in myself when I have not had experience with the things that I want to have experience in. I'm telling people, like, basically, I'm like pitching my potential. I have great potential. I could be somebody if you give me this chance. I can show you that I am a great artist, that I'm passionate, that I can execute your visions, that I can create magnificent masterpieces. I promise you I can, if you give me a chance. But they're like, well, you've never done it before, so how would I know? I'm like, well, this is an entry-level position, correct? I have to you have to let me do it. Let me do it and I'll show you. Give me the job and I'll show you I can do the job. Of course, I've never done the job before because nobody will give me the job because I've never done it before. And that, I feel like that also overlaps with dating for me too. So right after I filmed my video that I last uploaded, I went to the opening of a local gay club. We really don't have many gay clubs where I'm at right now. Like, the queer scene is extremely desolate, and if it is something, it's very white. So finding more like diverse club scenes has been really difficult for me. And then I just turned 21 a year ago, so I couldn't even get into the white gay clubs because I wasn't old enough. But finally for Pride I was 21, and so I started going to all these club events. And literally after I filmed that video, I met someone who just like I met someone who really swept me off my feet, and I was deeply attracted to them on the outside, and we danced together. And then I found their social media afterwards, and I was like, wow, I like your inside too. Like the stuff that they were posting, they're also a creative and an artist. And I was just blown away by their work. There's people walking behind me while I'm filming my video, but I was really happy that I had attracted someone who was so themselves, I guess. I don't know. Like enamored. I was just like, wow, you're so cool. So we started talking a little bit, like just texting kind of sporadically back and forth. And then we went out dancing again, and it was great, it was wonderful. But, and like we were both, I'm gonna wait till these people go by. Here come the mosquitoes, like they always do. But anyway, we were both very attracted to each other. But because of my stage of life right now, ultimately they decided that they didn't want to pursue anything with me. And I understand. I'm not really at a stable place. First of all, I deleted dating apps in like February of this year, and I have refused. I used dating apps for like a year in 2023. All through 2023, I was dating app, swipe. I was like going on dates. Everybody on those apps were deeply traumatizing. They either just flaked on me, or they are extremely unhealed people that have no business being on an app. They have no business dating anybody. Y'all need some friends. Y'all need some hobbies. Y'all need therapy. Y'all do not need to be out here dating. Why you got commitment issues on a dating app? You're on a dating app. Why are you, oh my God. I think there's just an intersection of Black queerness that be so traumatic, because obviously we're getting rejected by society for being Black. You're getting rejected by society for maybe being a woman or experiencing femininity. You're experiencing rejection for being genderqueer, trans, lesbian, gay, everything. So it's just, you live a life of rejection. And I think when we don't have community and we do not have a safe outlet for ourselves, we turn to romance because we just want connection. And that is it's just a way of connecting with people that's very validated in society as a whole. Dating is like a good thing to do. It's applauded, it's praised. People envy you if you're in a relationship. So I think a lot of people who need to heal run to dating. I'm just saying, not saying that you need to be perfect, you need to be perfectly healed, but literally, if you are looking for someone to save you, you got no business being on a dating app. I'm so sorry. Literally, only you can heal yourself. Only you can do that. I can't do it, hun. And especially as a Cancer and as somebody who is, again, spiritual talking, I've ended up as a therapist girlfriend. I've ended up as the vent, I've ended up being in codependent situations, and I refuse to deal with that ever again. That's behind me. I'm not doing that. Anyway, long tangent. I was not out and about looking to date anyone or looking to get intertwined with anyone. I was like, if universe brings me somebody, let them be good for me. Let it be natural. Let it happen on its own. I have no desire of chasing or forcing anything that's not supposed to work. And then we met in such an organic, magnetic way, and now it's gone for now. Maybe in the future we can meet up when I was at a different stage of life, but literally like being I would argue I probably also have no business dating. Emotionally, I'm quite sound at the moment. Like emotionally, I'm good. But literally, like when you're financially unstable and your career is not where you want it to be, my identity as a person is sound, and that took a lot of therapy and time. But my career, my artist identity is not very sound. My financial identity, if that is one, is definitely not sound. So I can imagine why it wouldn't work out. I think it would. Obviously, I think it would. But it's just like right person, wrong time, probably. Ultimately, I didn't get to know this person that well, so they could be actually unhinged and insane, and I could be yearning for somebody who's like literally like gone. I don't know. I hope not. I pray not, because I've already dealt with many mentally unsound people. I'm really not in the mood for it. Moving on from dating and then getting a job and those things, I applied to an artist residency recently and got rejected. And I really wanted it, and I thought that it would be great because I think it was for emerging artists. So I was like, okay, it's fine again that I don't have experience, but in that I'm like not in a sound place right now. I got rejected anyway, and luckily they held an event where you could talk to them and like basically have a portfolio critique and talk about why they rejected your application. And so I went. I learned. It just feels like I'm getting the same lesson taught to me over and over again, is that like people want you to have experience. In dating, they want you to be at a certain place and have certain experiences. With jobs, they want you to be at a certain place and have certain experiences. With artists residencies and opportunities, they want you to already be showing in galleries. They want you to already be showing in museums. They want you to already be selling pieces. But I'm trying to get in the door, and I don't have those things because I'm beginning. It feels like I'm getting rejected a lot for being starting, for not having experience. And it's just been really hard to start if I keep getting rejected at the front door. Like it's just like I can't even get in the rooms that I want to be in. I want to be in the room where it happens. Oh my God, let me in. So I was just talking like, okay, why didn't I get accepted? And they were like, they're looking for somebody with like a succinct vision and people who have like a narrative that they're sticking to, and it's strong and they're like consistent with it. The thing that I was pitching, I guess, was too all over the place and didn't have like a good inline path and like for an artist exhibition. It is definitely going to start raining, so I have to hurry up talking. Also, the sun is going down. Also, I was pitching a very black idea to a room that has mainly white people in it, and I talked to some of the black artists there, and they were saying, we understand what you're trying to say, but basically with white people or non-black people, they're not gonna get it. And you're gonna have to dumb it down and water it down and like hold their hand and walk with them so that they understand what you're talking about. And that was very, like, I rolled my eyes because I was like, okay, like, whatever. But I guess it's true. Ultimately, in the spaces I'm in, they're predominantly white. But it's just a lot. So I'm gonna try to develop a consistent art practice. Just like with this, I'm trying to develop consistently making videos, be consistent and disciplined with the art I put out, with the things that I do, with my creativity, and show that at a minimum, I'm reliable. I'm talented, I'm skilled. One thing that I really did like that I heard was that I have a lot of talent and skill, and that's not the problem. Because I think I get in my head when I'm rejected, I'm like, okay, it's because I suck. It's because my art is bad. It's because, or like with dating, I get rejected, I'm like, okay, it's because I'm ugly. You hate me because I'm ugly. Like, it's because I'm like a bad person. And they're like, no, it's not that. Like, it's not that you are unvaluable and unworthy. It's more like people are really risk averse. And whenever you're inviting somebody new into your dating life, when you're inviting someone into your job, when you're inviting someone into your art residency, people don't want to take risks. They want something that is sound. They just want to be safe. I have to prove that like I am a safe option and a safe bet. And that really annoys me. I feel like that's very influenced by capitalism, of not wanting to take risks because you want a ROI. And so people who are risky or maybe don't turn profits immediately are deemed unworthy of investment. And if, let's say, especially if I'm like only creating art for a niche audience that doesn't have a lot of money, I think that my art for niche people that don't spend money is just as worthy as like the general people who can like rack up. It's like pop music. Of course, like everyone loves to jam to some Ariana Grande because it's pop. I love Ariana Grande, by the way. Stans don't get me. The more niche artist that does some weird techniques and it's techno and nobody understands it, it's hard to get. I feel like both her, Ariana Grande, and the niche indie artists are just both valuable, but they don't invest into both. They invest into Old Faithful. I'm trying to figure out, do I want to become Old Faithful for anybody? I'm not sure. What does it mean to do that? Do I need to water myself down to get invested in, to prove that I am something good? I don't know. Do I need to become more generic and simple so that people get what I'm saying? Or is it maybe it's a skill issue? Like maybe I'm just not properly communicating how valuable my art is and my thoughts are. Maybe I need to work on my delivery, and that it's not more like I'm inherently invaluable, I need to change, but more like I need to communicate better so that people who aren't in the know of what I'm talking about get what I'm talking about. It's really hard. Like I feel like a lot of black artists have to go through this of like, do I need to make my art a little more white for white people to get it? Or should I just stay really black and then never get funded? Like, we'll see. At a minimum, I need to just start making art because all of this has exhausted me and paralyzed me and made me feel like no matter what I do, it doesn't matter. I've been battling nihilism, which I think for some people might call it depression. I guess maybe it's depression. For me, it feels like I'm just becoming nihilistic. Like no matter what I do, no matter how good my art is, people won't pay attention. No matter what I write, no matter what I say, nobody will listen. So I might as well not do anything. But again, I think I'm more scared of being perceived and scared of failing. So I'm gonna try to just make stuff for me and my people. Make art for me. Make the art that I want to see. Because another thing that came up with like dating was that I was really attracted to this person because I felt like they were their authentic selves and they didn't care about what other people thought about them. That is me like assuming things and projecting. I don't know. But I just saw them walk in. You know, you ever see somebody walk in and you're like I just feel like they commanded attention when they walked into the room. At least they commanded my attention. I don't know if everybody was thinking that, but I was like, you are so you. And I love that. Growing up, and even in past relationships, and past friendships, romance, school, I was often told that I was too much. I was too opinionated, I was too loud. People thought that I was bragging when I talked about my accomplishments. I would talk about the things that I like, and that would intimidate people. I got told I was so intimidating. You're so scary. I didn't put other people down. I would just be talking about things that I like. Or I might say, I'm not a really big fan of that. And then somebody would get offended. I'm like, I didn't mean to offend you. I think I have worked on not giving my opinions on things that are not asked for, because that is really trifling and that is annoying and nobody wants to hear that. But people would be like, do you like this? And I'd be like, no. And then they're angry. Why do you ask my opinion then? And then so I learned to people please, especially with autism and masking. Being a black autistic person, people really, gross, there's bugs on me. People like take autistic black people as threats. People take black women as threats. And people take black people who like themselves and who are confident as threats. And so I've watered myself down over the years, and I've been really quiet, and I've stopped doing the things that I love. I've been told that I make other people feel small by walking in the room and being big, basically. that hurt my heart. I didn't want to be too much. I didn't want to feel like other people can't take up space. I didn't want to harm anyone. So I stopped being myself and I started being quiet. I stopped speaking. I stopped being my authentic self. I stopped wearing clothes that I liked. I stopped doing my makeup. People told me my makeup was too much. People told me my clothes were too loud. Like, I literally just became a shell of a human being. It just rattles my brain. And so now I'm trying to get these jobs. I'm trying to get these networking opportunities. I'm trying to get these artist residencies and all these things. I'm trying to date. And then I show up and I'm used to needing to be small, but I'm realizing the spaces I want to be in, I need to be loud and big and real and authentic to get these opportunities. I have to be myself, and I have not been myself for years. It's really hard to figure out, like, am I harming someone? Like, am I too much? But I'm working on not caring about what people think anymore. If I come off as arrogant, if I say something and you don't like it, you could just block me, ignore me. I'm not the type to hunt you down and tell you you're like, I don't know, tell you my opinions. Just like you can distance yourself from me if it's that serious. If you really dislike that I have opinions on things and that I say the truth and how I feel when you ask me, if you don't like my opinions, you can go. That's so valid. But I'm realizing I'm attracted, like the person I was attracted to is so authentically them. And I just thought that was so hot. And it made me realize that the right people will come to me. My friends now adore my loud personality. They adore that I have crazy opinion, that I'm an opinionated person. They're also opinionated people. We disagree. We argue over things. We educate each other over things. We don't seek validation or these soft environments where you're not allowed to say that you don't like the color pink because it hurts my feelings because I like pink. Girl, if you don't like pink, that's cool. Just don't say nothing about me. Am I pink? This is orange. You can dislike something. It's none of my business. I've been working on embracing my real authentic self. It's just so hard when you haven't done something in a long time. It's literally like a weak muscle. It feels like I'm going to the gym. I'm getting buff. I'm strengthening muscles that I let die when I was surrounded by people who wanted me to be smaller for their own comfort. And it is a really painful thing to do, and I literally have forgotten how to be myself sometimes. But I'm gonna start being louder. I'm gonna start promoting my artwork. I'm going to start saying I am a good artist. And if somebody gets offended that I said I like my own artwork, I like what I do, that is their problem, and you're just an insecure person. And I'm going to just you can just go over there. Don't look at me. If I'm that scary and spooky and intimidating, if I intimidate you, you don't need to be around me because you clearly can't handle it. I'm gonna wrap this up. But that is one thing I'm learning, and I have been outside a lot this Pride, and after this fiasco thing, it's not even it wasn't that deep. Did I cry over it? Yes, but I'm a Cancer. I'm gonna cry over anything. I am definitely still not dating for the rest of this year. No dating apps. I'm not pursuing nobody. I don't have the time. And I'm getting upset, okay, you've never been in an actual real in-person relationship and you're about to be 22 in a week or so. I simply cannot care anymore. I'd rather be alone than be with anyone who's trifling and is gonna stress me out. I got other things to worry about. I got other things to think about. I got money to make. I got art to make. I got meals to cook, and I have chores to do. I have gas to fill up in my car. Don't come to me with nothing trifling. And don't come to me trying to shrink me. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to be put down. And also, I think that's a lesson to myself. I'm going to be facing so many barriers as I pursue a career in the arts. And as a creative, as a Black person, as a queer person, as someone with disabilities, like I'm going to face challenges, and people who reject me, and people who put me down, and people who don't believe in me. At a minimum, I cannot continue to be my own boundary and barrier. I cannot afford that. I cannot afford to abandon myself when other people will abandon me. I can't. I have to stand 10 toes down and believe that I am something valuable. If no one else will, at a minimum, I have to. So I'm gonna work on that muscle of believing in myself when no one else will. I think that's definitely very Saturn in retrograde energy, because Saturn's retrograding right now. That's why I'm also working on discipline and routine and doing things over and over and over again. I stopped doing things because I don't believe that they'll pay off. I have to lock in and I have to make art, I have to do things, I have to be outside, I have to talk to people, I have to introduce myself to people, I have to apply the things I want to be a part of. I cannot stand in the way of my own journey. And so I'm going back into myself. I've been at the club too much. It was fun. It was very fun. I love to dance. But I gotta just like get in line with the things I want to be in line with. But yeah, dealing with all this rejection has been a lot. It's like back to back to back to back. Back to back. I can't get a break. Like, oh my goodness. Rejection, rejection, rejection. I be waking up to email, we have seen your application and we have decided to not move forward with you. And I'd be like, thank you, Jesus, for telling me, because half these jobs just ghost me anyway. So thank you for rejecting me. I really hope that I can look back at these videos and be like, aw, remember when like you were broke and you didn't have nothing and nobody would date you and no artist like gallery would take your art. Like, do you remember when you thought the world was falling apart and every day you were crying because you felt like nobody believed in you? Now we have everything and more. That's what I'm manifesting for this Cancer new moon. I pray it all pays off one day. But right now I gotta lock in. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button or don't. I don't care. If you don't like me, don't care. There are bugs on me. Comment below if you relate, if this resonates. If you want me to get into dating tea, let me know. I have lots of things to talk about. Dating as a lesbian is a hot mess. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna start making a lot more art. I'm still saving up to get a studio, and I'm saving up to get a camera. I'm just filming on my phone, bruh. 2 things: studio, camera, sewing machine. I still don't have any of those things, but yeah, that's an update for today. Thank you for listening. See you on the next video. I finished filming and I forgot to talk about this one part. I keep doing this. One day I'm gonna get all the information in a video without forgetting, but I've been trying to also find art that resonates with how I'm feeling in the moment. And just one song that really, really stuck out to me was Special by SZA and then Normal Girl by SZA. And basically in Normal Girl, she released that like years ago, but it was her singing about how she wished she was a normal girl and how, again, she just felt like she was too much and that she just wanted to be like everybody else. She wanted to be ordinary, but she could not. She was struggling. And then in her more recent album, SOS, she wrote Special. And I remember like when I first heard Special, I cried so hard to it because she says, I wish I was special. I gave all my special away to a loser. And now I'm just a loser. I just resonate so much with that. I was such a special child. I was so special. I was so loud. I was so rowdy. I just drew whatever I wanted. I created whatever I wanted. I didn't care what anyone thought about me. And then I grew up and I was like, I want to be normal. I want to be like everybody else. I want to fit in. I want to be like undetectable. I want to be like, don't look at me too hard. I just don't want to be like, I am just normal. And now I'm going out and I'm meeting people and I'm trying to do these opportunities and they require you to be special. And I'm like, dang, I gave all my special away. I don't have that anymore. Special me is gone, but I'm trying to like understand special me is still here. Screw the people that took away my special. Like, screw the people who told me that I was too weird or too loud or whatever. I miss being special. And I'm going to try to get her back because I like her. Yeah.